All right, I am so excited and so honored to have Dr. Favour Ayodele here on the Move Happy Movement podcast. Thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thank you, Erin Nicole. Glad, coming to your show.
For those that might not have heard your name before, might not know your background and whatnot, I always love to share how I connect with people. And I actually saw you on a LinkedIn Live with one of my mentors through LinkedIn, Kevin, and I heard him interviewing you, and I was like, oh my goodness, I have to have him on the show. You're doing such great work. And so let's dive a little bit deeper into before what you were being interviewed for on his show. Let's talk about beginnings for you. What were you like as a little boy?
I can't get that question. It's key. Can you repeat that one?
Yeah, is it cutting out a little bit? Okay, I'm gonna turn my camera off. That's gonna help fix some of the tech stuff. 1 second here. And I'm gonna repeat the question for you. So what were you like as a little boy?
Oh, wow, that's a very great question. Yeah. Well, I was like normal individual, people going, growing up has been a kind of a little bit challenging for me.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a little boy, one thing I can remember vividly is the way I like to accommodate people coming around. I love sharing my stuff. Anything I have, I share it with people. Yeah. So, and I grew up having a very great, fantastic passion for football, for God, and my school. I grew up with my my grandma, my maternal late grandma. So she was the one that took care of me, that showed me the path, of leadership. In fact, when I was small, she's fond of. I mean, she was fond of giving me a lot of concept around people, nature, and God. So I grew up with that mentality, respecting people, giving honor to people, placing value, because she's the type of person that she loves, placing people first in her life. So I grew up to copy that. I grew up to learn that from this wonderful, great woman. And my mother then was a co-politician. So she was all the way going for meetings here and there, but my late grandma was able to take care of me in such a way that I know more of life, because when you stay with old people, they will teach you a lot of mysteries. So basically that's how I grew up, and I was able to cultivate a lot of beautiful ideas from this wonderful woman. And then that's just the basic part of my little child.
I love that. That's beautiful. I grew up around my grandmother as well. My father's mother, my mom was very connected to her. So we would go to her house 2 or 3 times a week, and I was homeschooled. So I can definitely relate to having that influence of that grandmother, being that role model of faith and excellence in demonstrating, contributing to others. So I love that. That's beautiful. Okay, so your upbringing, you spent a lot of time with your grandmother, and then you mentioned football and whatnot. When did you decide you were going to be a leader for your country, or did someone speak that into you? Or let's learn a little bit more about that.
Wow, that's a very powerful 1 million question. Anyway, my decision to be part of the mission for Nigeria and Africa
Mm-hmm.
I learned all from my grandma, and basically also from my mother, even
Mm-hmm.
though she was not that with me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that I understood the politics, from my mom,
Mm-hmm.
and she was able to do a lot for the government in our state. She was
Mm-hmm.
able to do a lot for people. So the passion and everything, build somebody that, the person that is talking to you today.
Mm-hmm.
So, but from my own angle, when I saw that things are not going on normal in Nigeria, and
Mm-hmm.
having worked with several organizations, several individuals, and the rest, with this mindset that we cannot continue this way. We can't just be experiencing a lot of panorama in the
Mm-hmm.
government, why we have fantastic individuals across the globe that are Nigerians that can actually step into the leadership
Mm-hmm.
and put things right. I discovered that fear has been the factor, one of the major factors, disturbing or distracting or sabotaging people actually from reaching out. Are you with me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Please, can I see your face?
Yes.
I'll be able to know who I'm speaking with. So
Yes.
I have it very good now. So what I'm trying to say is that I begin to see that fear is the one that is sabotaging people, creating a lot of setback because
Yes.
of the nature of the politics that we are having in Nigeria. A lot of people that believe that without them, there cannot be progress. So
Mm-hmm.
they have much of the politics terrain in Nigeria, and they have destroyed a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So this particular factor, since I'm not with it, I grew up to be a bold, a strong, focused, individual. I grew
Mm-hmm.
up to be a kind of fearless person. I deal a lot of things. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing that comes my way that I can't be able to solve, no matter
Yeah.
how. In fact, even from my subject when I was in secondary school,
Mm-hmm.
I failed. I failed a particular subject, geography, and it was because of a particular the teacher that was teaching us then. So, but when I was going to college, I
Mm-hmm.
took the subject and I read it on my own, and I got a very wonderful score on that. And that was even what I studied when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
And so all these things, pull together, I begin to see that I have the capacity to pull a lot of people at the same time to discover, because that is one of the things that is very, very important in leadership, ability to discover
Mm-hmm.
potentials of people.
Yes.
It's just like putting the round peg in a round hole. So when you put the right thing down and you place it on the table,
Mm-hmm.
and together with the mindset you have for people, or together with the concepts you have for the future, once you have a plan to ascertain some certain things and to pull some things down, then why not? Why wouldn't I be able to get it done, when it
Yeah.
comes to leadership? The leadership aspect, it's so embedded in me
Mm-hmm.
when I was growing up through my grandma and also my
Mm-hmm.
mom, in which that she was able to come out selflessly. One of
Yeah.
the things that I learned that I've also part of me today is selflessness of my two mom and late grandma.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it has been like that for over 2 decades. Selflessly, I plug into people and organizations without even asking what to gain back. So
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria needs someone that can as well display such elements, such virtue,
Mm-hmm.
because if you can relate with people, there's no point of you coming to leadership. Leadership is about service,
That's right.
serving humanity. Yeah, it's about servanthood. It's about, making yourself a kind of, shall I call it, turning yourself to be horse and to be reading. You get a point. So when you put yourself down and you are like an horse and people are riding on you, I'm not talking about the bad side of it. You get what I'm saying? I'm talking about taking people from where they are to another level, to another place, to a new era, to a new format, to a new grace and the rest. So that is just it. And this particular thing came up after I went to different places to work with different organizations and different people. And I began to say, okay, it is high time for me to step into this. Not just that I want to do it from my own because of the aspect I discussed, that kind of terrain is so aggledy, it's so rough, it's so, you can't just step into Nigerian politics and say, okay, you just wake up in the middle of the night, okay, you are coming for a leadership position and what you want to dream at is presidency. No, it doesn't work that way. However, if something so huge is not pulling and it's not backing you up, there's no how you can just say, okay, you want to do this. So I believe everything is about God, and God has helped me in such a way that I'm able to see myself in that role and play a very fantastic and significant role for Nigeria and Africa. So that is what I can say in a brief note. Thank you.
I love that. That is so powerful. And you've said so many key things. I was like, oh, that's good for when you talked about, you excel in academically, but you had one class that you struggled in. But then when you retook it and actually taught yourself, you learned that it wasn't you that was the problem. It was probably the instructor. And I think any student that's listening to this right now, whether they're in grade school, college, or even just adults and they're training in a new job, I think that's a transferable thing. I hope that they heard what you said, because it's not always the person that's ready to absorb the information that's the problem. It's the teacher, it's the instructor. And if more leaders would step up and take ownership of themselves to be better, to do better, they would have better organizations, they would have better countries, they would have better, businesses with less turnover. Like what you're saying, there's so many key things that I think a lot of people need to hear. I love what you said, everything about it. And you said not that you were stepping into this role because you wanted to, but you felt pulled, you felt led to. When was that moment for you when you felt, I'm going to be running for president?
Well, basically that was 2017. And that was when everything seems not working out at all. And one of the things I discovered in life is that when there is no solution, there can never be a problem. So wherever there is a problem, it means there is a solution somewhere. All what we need to do is to discover it. That, okay, if we can discover the solution, then the problem is already solved. So I don't see any complexity in the situation of Nigeria. Meanwhile, some people say, oh, Nigeria is so complex, the problem is so complex. To me, I see that once a leader do not have foresight and insight into things that is present with them, or there's no how you'll be able to see through. So that means it is the mind of the particular person that is in charge of the leadership that is complex. If you open your mind and you allow knowledge to be acquired through some technocrats, staffs, professional staff, and then the problem is just that selfishness and all sort of that has blindfolded our so-called leaders in the country and also the continent, even in the entire world. It's cut them off from seeing through and from seeing who is capable and credible enough to pull all these solutions down. So that moment, that was 2017, after my birthday. My birthday was September 1st. And I got up and I was like feeling so hurt. Meanwhile, I stopped my mom from active politics that same year, February 27th, 2017. I stopped my own mom from active politics because what? I discovered that she's going to, she has sold herself too much, and if she's not pulled back a little bit, she
Mhm.
might end up kill herself, because a lot of arrows, a lot of, a lot of stuff were just coming on her. There was a
Mhm.
day that she was mashed by a lot of crowd. She nearly
Mm.
died,
Oh
and
my
she was
gosh.
rushed to the hospital. Yeah, you know, she was rushed to the hospital to the extent that the rumor was everywhere in the state that my mom, she's dead, because she's one of the most popular person in
Wow.
the state, that Ondo precisely, that is the one of the states in the southwest of Nigeria.
Mhm.
So she has campaigned to a lot of group of individuals, both the president, the governor, the Senate, the
Yeah.
House of Rep, House of Assembly. She has been campaigning all through. In fact, she was in politics like 3 to 5 years before I was giving birth to. So till 2017. And I said, Mom, you just have to stop. I never knew that I'm coming to politics. You just have to stop. You get yourself killed.
Yeah.
She explained a lot of things that I tried to open her mind, and eyes towards what she needs to actually do. So,
Mhm.
and she listened to me. Then following months, some months after I broke the news, I said, Mom, I felt an urge of going into this. She was like, what? Because she, she knows basically what is involved, what actually involved, especially Nigeria politics.
Yeah.
If you are in Nigeria,
Mhm.
you dabbled into, that is to launch, you dive into Nigeria politics and you come out successfully, my sister, I think you need to get award because it's not easy. However, we can say it's not easy and let the evil people dominate the righteous. There's
Mhm.
a place in the holy book that says that when the righteous rules, people
Yeah.
rejoice.
Yes.
But when the wicked rules, you know what the outcome. So this particular moment, I felt so strong, so poor. In fact, I rushed and I said, I called my wife, see what is happening to me, see what I saw, because there's a particular revelation that I saw so huge. It's something that I may not be able to, to share public, but it was so direct, and I said, okay. And then I began to consult and
Yeah.
both prayers, both this and that. Before you know it, I got so convinced that, okay, it is time to launch into it.
Yes.
And because then Nigeria was having a lot of problem, a lot of trouble,
Mhm.
and they were looking for a particular person that's going to serve them, out of that. And everybody was just like, a lot of people were running back. But I give it to some kind of guys that came up and they said, oh, they too, they can run, they too, they want to run this to do. So that become a lot of, a very serious moment for
Mhm.
Nigeria to experience paradigm shift. So that is just the area. October, and precisely I went to it, and I become the first presidential independent candidate for
Mhm.
Nigeria before I formed coalition with others, because there was no electoral bill
Mhm.
that that could give room for me to be an independent candidate. It is now we are even fighting it, and presently the government is not signing the electoral bill. I don't know, maybe you understand what I mean by electoral bill. Is a section, it's a bill that gives room for a lot of credible, transparent, and free and fair election in Nigeria, and participation of others, in such a way that everybody will be able to see through that, oh, this is a true democracy. So
Mhm.
in short, it gives room to true democracy. And that is the expectation of the world, that
Mhm.
by now, after 60 years, we should be able to experience a very fantastic democracy in
Yes.
Nigeria. Yeah. So that is where I am, and that is the point I am now. Thank you
I love
so
that.
much.
You're a history maker. I love that you protected your mom and you're like, Mom, it's time for you to take a seat back. You're not stopping. We're going to keep the family line. We're going to continue on with this, and I'm going to take over. I love that. I love that. That's so powerful. I think a lot
Thank
of
you.
people could relate to that as well. Maybe not in that same situation, but any family member that cares about their parent, you know, hey, it's time for you to transition, you know, hey, I know you're wanting to drive and maybe you shouldn't be driving anymore. I love it, you know, come live with me. I'm going to take care of you in your last few years of life. You're going to have, you know, no stress. I'm going to make sure you're taken care of. You want to go join the card game place, you know, that you want to go and relax, or you want to go sing some songs, whatever. I'm going to take care. I feel like there's so many families that can relate to what you said. And I love that you're stepping up. Fearless. You said that earlier. There's nothing that I can't do as long as as long as God is in charge, and as long as you're in alignment with God's purpose for your life. There really isn't anything that you can't accomplish. So I love that. I love that. Absolutely. And you said so many things in regards to our first pillar of Move Happy is about mindset. I mean, you've said so many things so far, but for those that, you know, might be thinking about getting into politics in their country and they're listening to the show, or maybe they're thinking about doing something on a grand scale like you are doing for your family, what are some tips, some strategies you can share with them on keeping a positive mindset when they might be, you know, getting spiritual attacks, or they might be having, you know, naysayers coming around them and telling them, who do you think you are, thinking you can step into this? You know what I mean?
Well, I love that question, and this is the reality. And let me say this to people, our viewers out there. You are only limited by your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You are only limited by your mind. That is, as far as you can think, as far as you can see through your mind,
Mm-hmm.
that is how far you can go. If you see problem, you will experience problem. But if you see solution, if you see the breakthrough, no matter the problem, you will not be seeing the problem. You will not be affected by the problem. You will be affected and influenced by the solutions and your drive.
Love
so
that.
To me, there is nothing that can stop any man on earth. Whatever thing you want to achieve, once you put your mind to it and you work towards it, you are unstoppable.
Yes.
So basically, the tool that we must have to see through, because the problem we are encountering in this world is created by man.
Mm-hmm.
So if it is created by man, then man will be the solution. If it is created by man, then we should be able to create a solution that was created by man, which was the problem in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So if man creates a problem, it is the duty of the man to create solution. So fearlessness should be what should guide us. And I said it in the beginning, I said, your imagination is your limitation.
Mm-hmm.
If you can picture it, you will feature in the future. So whatever you picture is what you're going to feature in it. So what am I trying to say is that I want people to understand that you are the only one that can take yourself through. A lot of factors will pull you down. Monetarily, some people that are already there, that they have been ruling, they have been in the system, and they felt that they are the only one that can do it. If you let them continue, then you have placed your life in their hands, and they will determine your life till eternity, or till you die. So don't see problem, see solutions, and don't see difficulties. See yourself. And this is the saying. I mean, this saying is going around, and they never know where I don't think people actually decode where the statement comes from. That there is no future. And that is what I used to say. There is no future anywhere. We are the one that we create the future. The future you want to future in must be created by you. So meaning, if you want to participate in the future, you have to create the future from now. Yeah. We are not going to allow these old politicians to create the future we don't want. So if what you really desire, you want to feature in it, so start, be involved, and tell whosoever Your mom can disturb you. Your mom can block you. Your father, your husband, your child. You are the only one that understands you, yourself. Nobody can understand you except yourself and God. So as long as you understand yourself, you don't allow people to determine you. You don't allow people to create something, your platform for you that you can go beyond. So, and don't ever use anybody for your own standard. Once you use anyone for your standard, you have pegged yourself from not reaching forward. So these are the things that work for me. These are the things that have been working for me. I use myself as my own standard, except God. So I will not use Barack Obama as my standard. Oh, I want to become Barack Obama. No. Obama is Obama. My name is Favour Ayodele.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to be this. I want to be, what is the name? Wole Soyinka. I want to be Obafemi Awolowo. I want to be this and that. No, they have their DNA. They have their own life. I have my life. And if we are talking about history has its place in whatever thing we want to do, but at the same time, you have to start creating your own history for the future. So make sure that you are not in any way pegged by anybody, by any man's opinion, by any, because this is what is actually disturbing or blocking the new generation to succeed, to have a sustainable plan for the future that we want. So that is what I can say for now. And the other round is the people you associate yourself with. Actually, the books you read, the people you listen to. Who are the people you have been listening to? What are the books? What are the nature of the books you are reading? This creates a lot of, or add a lot of influence to what you once believed in yourself, for yourself. When you work with some people that are with low IQ or that are with, that don't believe in things to come. Like, for example, I made a statement 2019, two statements, I'm going to say it here. I said, number one, a time is coming, that was 2019, that this smartphone that we are using will become useless because the world is moving fast. There's going to be another thing that's going to be created, and some people were like, what? Could that be possible? I said, wait and see. And I said, a time is coming as well. That was 2019. That somehow this platform that we are using, Facebook, WhatsApp, what do we call it now? LinkedIn, the other Twitter and the rest, a time is coming that they might be shut down. If it got shut down, what are we going to do? And people are like, what are you saying? I said, it is possible. So we should start creating something else. We should start finding a way in which, if we all got shut down, we should have a way around that. A way around it. So these are the things that we must be able to, think about. But people you also work with, you move with, they also, they had a lot of things. And they can also determine, if you give that a room for them to determine your life. Of course, when you see a good ones, people with wisdom, they will also, be part of what you are doing. So that is the basic things I can say for now.
I love that. So many golden tips, and you hit both pillars, mindset and community. It's so powerful. And when you mentioned about, potentially, Twitter and LinkedIn shutting down, right? Last year there were so many people working from home online. I don't know if you had any internet issues. I know there were so many internet issues, and I'm trying to interview people on my show on Zoom, and I wasn't used to all the people in the neighborhood being also on the same internet bandwidth and it's spotty and getting kicked off and whatnot, and those are small problems compared to large scale issues. But it reminds me of, in the Old Testament, the Tower of Babel, and how we thought as a world, we were so intelligent beings that we were going to find our way up to heaven. But that's when the separation of languages started to occur.
Mhm.
God said, no, you think you're going to be as smart as me? I don't think so. I'm going to allow confusion amongst your land. So
Mhm.
then you cannot think that you're the same as me. So a lot of things that you've said, maybe they do come to pass, but that doesn't mean that we cannot continue to be good, to choose to be good, to stand out from the crowd, to take leadership positions, whether it's in our families, whether it's in our jobs, in our schools. We do need to take action though, on that. So thank you for that. Now, one of the other pillars of Move Happy, of course, is movement related. We know exercise, fitness, sports, we know that it should be a part of our daily routine. However, knowing and actually doing are two different things. You mentioned earlier about football being one of your childhood passions. Is that your favorite still today, or have you found something new that you enjoy?
That's my favorite. As a matter of fact, I believe that God used football to train me on leadership, then on politics.
Mm-hmm.
And I came up with this initiative that, or let me say, with this mindset
Mm-hmm.
that politics is not a game,
Mm-hmm.
or politics shouldn't be a game. So I make it a practical reality that politics is not a game.
Mm-hmm.
Politics is a way of life.
Yeah.
So because I studied this particular football, soccer, and I discovered that before you can go to your opponent, or before you can beat your opponent, there must be
Mm-hmm.
a form of dribbling, form of,
Mm-hmm.
uh, fouls will be there, dribbling will be there, and a lot of issues will be there. You
Mm-hmm.
can take a ball from your post and go to your opponent post and score
Mm-hmm.
like that, without being marked, without being bashed, without being, a lot of things will be there. So when you now relate it with politics, if you want to get to that position,
Mm-hmm.
and you are saying politics is a game, just like the mindset that a lot of people have, it means you want to cheat others.
Mm.
It means you want to dribble others.
Mm-hmm.
It means you want to use some people's head to play football. You want to use them to, you will attack this person because of what? Because you want to get to a position. You have to speak so ill on someone. You have to bully someone. You have to destroy someone's personality. You have to bring somebody down. You
Mm-hmm.
have to find a way of corner someone. You have to do all manner of stuff
Mm-hmm.
just because you want to get to a position.
Yeah.
So from my own angle, I said, you should not. It is not until you do that before
Yeah.
you can get to a position. So we need leadership. We need what I call ecology of leadership.
Mm-hmm.
What do I mean? A reality that respects others. A reality that makes you credible enough for people to say, wow, this personality is great. I
Mm-hmm.
think we can vote for this person.
Mm-hmm.
Without me dribbling you, without me, creating a lot of maybe disorderliness to the society because I want to be there,
Mm-hmm.
without being a fraudster or scammer or liar or something
Yeah.
of that nature. I don't need to be all these things before I can be a good leader or before I can get to a
Right.
position.
That's right.
So that is my perspective about that. So football taught me a lot, other side of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you are playing this card, you have to do something that is beyond your opponent's mindset. You have to create some kind of stuff around you
Mm-hmm.
and get yourself in that position. Why don't we do it like, okay, as men that will be looking or that will be listening to me, they might have separate ideology about politics.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I believe politics should be, because politics is politics by word, not by act.
Yeah.
We are the one that is playing the game, not politics.
Mm-hmm.
people behind the politics. You understand what I'm saying? Politics is just like one of the subjects, like mathematics, like physics, like biology, like English, like this and that. So we are the one, people are the one using the war of politics to destroy things, and they call it politics in the space, and they subject credible people to be nonsense. So if you know that you are credible enough, if you know that you have a sound character, and that is where I brought a word, character-centered leadership. You can get to a place by favor. You can be helped by anybody, but the only way you can get sustained in that position is by character. Do we have character today in the helm of affairs of our government? Do we have good personalities? Do we have people that think about others? Do we have people that can lay their life down for others? Do we have selfless individuals? Do we have people that can think for others, not for yourself? Do we have selfishness? If there's a word like that, selfishness. That is, are you the type that are not? I mean, that is not selfish? Unselfish individuals. That is what we need to govern, and that is the only way we can have good governance. A good governance can be produced by good individuals that think for others, that have interests of others at heart, that can lay his or her life down. So it is not about politics this time around. It's about you. It's about me. It's about people that are carrying the mandate of the leadership. So the word politics should not be used. So this is the narrative I am changing in Africa. This is where we have to get it right to say, okay, politics is just like a normal subject. People, individual, we have to change ourselves. And that is why I am bringing out Orientation Intelligence Agency. Intelligence is part of it. It's not just an orientation. We have been orienting ourselves different ways, but we have to be intelligent enough to see the perspective, to see the right perspective of good governance, of good leadership, of true leadership. And that is why the word ecology is birth. If you can't find it in your dictionary, I am the author of it, and I'm making it to open to all Africans, all leaders across the globe. It is high time we behave as human beings. It is high time we love ourselves. It is high time we respect ourselves. It is high time we give value to people. It is high time we add value. It is high time we actually, know our identity. We are human being. We are human being. So we need to be human. We need to be, the humanistic part of us must be in play. So football has taught me a lot. I play football from the primary school to the secondary school, to my college, to my state, and then I play a professional football. And though I didn't last there, that I was I was part of the academy, football academy in Cambodia, precisely. I love to mention that country. And I spent almost 2 years before I came back to Nigeria. That was 2008 and 2009. I came back, and since then I've been here. So it's just like few months that I spent over there. So this is still my passion, but unfortunately, I don't even have interest in any of the whatever game they're playing, even though I love sports. And I'm going to glamorize sport in Nigeria. Africa, we have a very fantastic home-based sport. One of my plans, let me say it here, is to create our own Olympic, African Olympic. Is to glamorize our own footballers, our sportsmen, women, our children. We need to let the world understand that we are the best. And there is no apology for this. African Nigerians are the best when it's come to all this sport. Thank you so much.
I love that. I love that. That's so powerful. And for those that might be listening in the States, football we call soccer, and that is what it's called pretty much all around the world. It's called football.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure everybody is aware of what sport we're all on the same page. But you've learned so much, and there's so many transferable skills that we can learn from athletics. And you hit the nail on, what's the saying, that you hit the pin on the donkey, or whatever the saying is, that those that don't have character, that want to win in the game, they can find a way to win, just like in life. Those that don't have character, if they really all they care about is getting to that promotion, they can trip over their colleagues, they can tell lies about them, and do all kinds of things, but the truth will reveal itself. And I think if we choose to make good decisions in our own homes, in our workplaces, in politics, if we so choose to run for government, the truth, I think there's so much with social media and the power of it, that people can smell BS from miles and kilometers away. I think those of us that are choosing to be good, to do good, need to step up and need to start showing ourselves on social media, not to say I'm prideful, here I am, but no, they need to step up to be examples of what good can happen in the world when those of us that are doing good share a little bit of ourselves, whether it's the businesses that we're running, or for you running for an entire country to run as president for Nigeria. I'm so proud of you. Like, I don't know you, I'm still getting to know you, but I'm so excited that I just happened to hop on that live stream when you were being interviewed, because now my listeners will get a chance to hear you, and for years to come, long after you're done with running, and maybe you're nice and retired and you have some new business venture you're starting. I'm really excited for where God's going to be taking you in the coming years. And you said a lot of key things that really reminded me of, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Bishop T.D. Jakes. He's a pretty well-known bishop across the world, and you hit so many golden nuggets with the things that you've said. I really believe what you're doing is a beautiful thing. And he says this often in some of his sermons I've seen on YouTube and whatnot. When you know who you are, you know who you are not. And it's so easy to be yourself and exude yourself, to share who you are, when you're clear with your identity, whether that's, if you believe in God, you identify as a child of God. I am. So it's easy for me to share who I'm not with others by just showing examples of who I am. And I love to edify people on my show. And that's why I wanted to have you as a guest. I love to edify not all people. I love to edify people that are doing good in the world, that have good character, and that actually want to make a difference, that are selfless human beings. And I'm very grateful for your time today.
You are doing a great job, my friend. You are doing a great job. And I want you to also prepare yourself. When I become president, you're going to be invited to the coronation. And at the same time, my bishop just mentioned his name. I have respect for every believers, everybody, good Christian and non-Christian, But this particular man you mentioned, I learned a lot under him, though I've never been to his church before, but I'm using this platform to tell him, if he's going to stumble on this, that this is one of his disciples, and then he should prepare himself to come to Nigeria. Yes. When I become president, he's going to be one of the few selected bishops in the world that is going to come and that's going to celebrate and also pray.
I love that.
With the people of Nigeria. And so I'm glad you mentioned his name. But I'm going to keep other names in kind of let me keep other names now.
Yeah.
Those will be revealed later. But because you mentioned his name, he's a very powerful man of God, full of knowledge for the world, so dynamic. And for you, thank you so much for having me on your show. It's so player, and I'm glad that you also discovered a lot of people. And okay, let me stop here because you may want to ask some questions.
I love it. So for those that are, absolutely captured with your story and have the means to do so, what's the best way they can support you, connect with you, support you in your presidency campaign? How can they connect with you? What's the best way for that?
Well, thank you so much. I think they can go to www.lightnigeria.com.ng, www.lightnigeria.com.ng. I didn't say Favour Ayodele for president. It's because it's not about me. It's about the nation. It's about the continent.
Yeah.
It's about the future of our dear country. And my mission is basically to light Nigeria, literally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, environmentally, all areas, in all sectors, to make sure light is in Nigeria. Literally, we are not having anything called stable electricity. For the past 60 years, we've got our independence. There's no stable electricity so far. So my mission, apart from other things, apart from education, which is very paramount, apart from what do you call it now, our health sector, transportation, security and the rest. If we have electricity, stable electricity in Nigeria, 75% of Nigerian problem will be solved. I believe that. Some people were even saying 100%. I said, no, let's be realistic. Let us have it. So they are in support of what I'm saying. Electricity, cut across everything you want to do, especially in this jet age. Things like now, if we don't have electricity, there's no how I can power my laptop to view YouTube.
Right. Yeah.
So I have to on my generator to power my laptop, then speak to you. So if you want to be empowered, if you want to do anything technologically, economically and other social, security-wise, everything, it has to, it is on electricity. So you can detach electricity from life. It's just like electricity is the one that gives life. Light give life. So to reach me, it is just there. Then I believe you also have my details, everything you want to read about me, my profile, everything is there, to donate as well, because I need people to support this mandate. One of the things that is pulling us down, or that's a negative factor, from the other side of politics, is funds. These our current recycled leaders, they are there to shut you down because they are with money. We call them money bags politicians. So they will just pull you down and buy everybody, buy the security agency, buy these, buy them, all sorts of, because of power of 4 years. And they have forgotten that everybody will all die one day, So, but to make sure that we create a future, and we have a future for our children's children, I need the support of everyone. And I'll be very grateful and honored to have people's support, through the link that I just mentioned. Thank you so much.
I love that. Yeah. So everyone needs to follow you, especially on LinkedIn. That's how we connected. They need to donate to your GoFundMe. I'll drop the link when we post this and air it. And I always love to close out the show just with a surprise, fun question. And you've shared a lot already. Being a hopeless romantic that I am, for those women that are listening and they're like, oh, how can I connect with such a person that is so good in your heart and spirit? I want to know, and I'm sure the ladies want to know, how did you meet your wife? What is that on the table?
Wow, that's a surprise package. Oh my God. My story on that, probably we're going to speak on that later, but on a short form, this is this also surprising. I don't know that is where you're coming from. my God. Okay, may I tell you that I'm one of the unconventional person with unconventional story. When it's come to my home. May I tell you that I didn't I never woo my wife. I didn't toast her. I didn't say anything. I was actually, dating someone. I love that person so much. I was like, I would travel from from my town, Ondo State precisely. I would travel to Lagos State, like about a 4 hours journey.
Oh, wow.
And I'll be begging this person, please let me marry you for 3 years. I want to marry you. I want to do this. I want to do that. She would just show me off, go away. I don't need you, this and that. You can't even make my hair of 5,000 naira. That was then. That was 2000. That was year 2010. There about 11 and 12. You can't even make my hair of 5,000 naira. I said, what? At the end of the day, she told me that, oh boy, come. I am the one dating. That is, she was telling me that I am the one dating her. She wasn't dating me for many good years. I said, wow. I said, okay, no problem. So I wept, actually. You can't just be a man when you love somebody like that. You have to weep, and then somebody is cutting you off from, I wept. Oh God, So after that, then I saw my wife. My wife was like a very powerful individual that I've never seen in my life. And so she kept calling me because my cousin happened to be our own godson then. So they were relating. So, and she kept calling me. She kept saying that, how are you doing? Fine. I said, oh, please come. I'm not dating you. I'm just your friend. Don't mount prayer on me. He said, no, I'm just calling to know how you're doing. So, because I was dating this person, the person I just talked about, I was dating the person then. I said, I don't want 2 ladies, 2, 3, 4, 5 ladies to be calling me. I want to be a straightforward person, and that's what I'll be.
Smart man.
Eventually, when that one went through, I just went to her. I said, hey, come. Can I marry you? So what? That was all what I said. He said, okay, go and meet my father. And I said, okay. And I went to her father, and I told her father that I want to marry your daughter. He said, are you serious? Like, serious? I said, yes, I want to marry your daughter. That was hard. No dating, no courtship, no anything.
Wow.
We went to wedding, and we did the wedding for 4 days. And this is the 8 years of our marriage. And it has been fantastic. Awesomely fantastic.
That's beautiful.
Awesome. And if I may tell you this, I'm saying it for the first time publicly. We've never fought a day. We've never argued a day. Somebody that I did not know, I don't know her character, I didn't know how she used to behave. But because of God's wisdom, God's knowledge, and understanding ourselves, so we're able to, it doesn't matter who does things, as long as the thing is done. That is our policy in our home. So
beautiful.
That's all my long and short story about my wife.
I love it. Thank you for sharing.
And I didn't tell you that she's a Ghanaian.
Say that again.
She is a Ghanaian. Ghanaian. She's not a Nigerian.
Beautiful.
She came from Ghana.
You're bringing nations together in your home.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So,
well, I love that. Next time we do a follow-up session when you're president, maybe she'll join us so we can hear from your wife's perspective.
No problem.
This has been so fun. Thank you again.
I'm honored. I'm so honored, and thank you for having me on your show.